Hello Metal Thieves, it is Phantom here and welcome back to another stream. Thank you so much for being first, Raven. Good evening, good evening. Hey Bowser, thanks for lurking while you draw. All in good time, my friend. Anyways, there's so much going on that I actually didn't hear my music finish, so hopefully I didn't just completely blank on it. Anywho, today we'll be playing Cinderella Phenomenon, and if you weren't here before, let me tell you a little bit about Cinderella Phenomenon. Cinderella Phenomenon is an otome game, where your choices do actually matter, and the choices we make throughout this entire game will determine whether or not we have a romance with any of the characters we end up with or not. One of the things I decided to do was that you guys would get to choose which options I picked. So whenever we come to an option, I will give it to you all to choose for me what it is that we're going to do. Now then, I don't know where we were when we stopped off. My PC's going all funny like, and I don't like it. I don't like that. It's freezing and stuff every few seconds. It's not good. Hopefully it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. But for now, I think we'll just ignore it. I think we are good. So, okay. Let's get into Cinderella Phenomenon. Now, there's a lot of reading in this, if you weren't here before. This otome game doesn't have any voice actors in it, so therefore I will be reading everything. And I mean everything. I will do my best today. I am a bit yawny, admittedly enough, but we'll do our best today. We're on chapter 8. We are currently in the store. This is the cafe, the tavern that we live in. Yeah, let's go ahead and figure out what it is that we're doing today. A princess, are you okay? Oh, if it isn't the princess. Are those dark circles under your eyes from a romantic night out? Were you out with someone last night? No. They're from being woken up early by Delora to do chores. Delora grins at me from the other side of the bar, but says nothing as she goes to a conversation with another boarder. Darling, you're no fun at all. You must tell me what happened last night. Last night? Did you like the bouquet? How did you know about the bouquet? Why, because it was my suggestion. When Chevalier was asking Karma for advice, it was about me? Look at the way she smiled, Anise. Last night must have gone well. I'm confused. What happened last night? I'm going to get Rumple to give you all the juicy details when he comes downstairs. That is Chevalier to you. Chevalier appears behind Karma, smiling. It seems he's an it now. He's an it, he doesn't exist. He seems a lot calmer today than usual. Oh! Oh, thank you so much for the nuzzles, Raven. Always appreciated. Always appreciated. If I freeze a lot, I do apologize. I think it's a PC thing that's happening right now, and I don't know why. So I might just actually open my task manager and see what's open that's not supposed to be open. Just give me a couple seconds to figure this out. It doesn't look like there's anything that's open that shouldn't be open, but something just isn't really right. Let's see here. What the hell is that? There's this random thing I'm seeing in the startup place called Program, and I don't know what it is, and that's slightly concerning. It doesn't look like anything, so we might be good. I don't think it's anything important, so it should be fine. Anyways, he glances over camera at me, and we catch each other in a silent gaze. I'm not in the game. Seeing his eyes reminds me of last night, which makes me inadvertently flustered. Chevalier just winks at me. Chevalier, was it? Something you say when the person sneezes? No, that's his name, Rumple. That is, Chevalier. Broke his curse yesterday. Not last night, I'm sorry. I can't read. There was a stunned silence from everyone in the immediate area. Even Delora walks over to us. What's this about a broken curse? Was it you, Rumple? He's going by something that sounds like a fancy cake. Parfait seems to be bursting with excitement, though she is her usual calm self on the outside. I can tell by the bounce in her step and by the way she raises her voice to make an announcement that she is proud. When everyone has learned that Chevalier has broken his curse, people come to the table offering drinks and congratulations. Chevalier gets lost in the crowd, mostly of women, but much to my surprise, Chevalier does not flirt back to any of them. And then, in between our celebrations for Chevalier, the front door to the Marchand opens and Waltz rushes inside. That was not a good sign. That was not a good sign at all. That is very concerning. I am slightly concerned for my PC right now. Should we restart my PC? No, we'll stick it out. We'll see what happens. Where are Delora and Lady Parfait? I need to speak to them immediately. Waltz, you're just in time. We're all... Something has happened at the palace. The room goes quiet at Waltz's proclamation. A few people shift uneasily in their chairs. Some try to go back to conversation. Most people do not care what happens in the palace, but they can tell by the tone of Waltz's voice that it is bad. What's happened in the palace? An uprising. What? A coup staged by a witch. A coup staged by witches. Witches have taken over the palace. The information is so sudden, it makes me dizzy. I reach out to grab the table, and my hand lands on a wood before I slip. And my hand lands on the wood before I can slip. Witches have taken over the palace? An army of them? No, only a few. Julian strides across the room, followed quickly by Garland. What about the witches taking over? What's this about witches taking over? We have some of the best knights at the palace. There's no way witches can break in under the palace's guards. Unless they have someone on the inside helping them. Alcaster. No, myth. Who are we talking about? You know him as Mithras. He uses a different name now. Sir Mithras? The king's advisor? He's a witch? There's no way Mithras is a witch. We would have known. Glamour. He uses glamour. Everything Waltz says suddenly gets swallowed up in questions. Jurian and Garland ask question after question, while others start surrounding Waltz and ask him what was happening to the king and his children. Hold on, let me fix my headset. My hair is in my face. There we go. I try to step closer to listen, but I cannot hear over the frantic voices in the room. Sir Mithras. I never trusted him, but I never thought he would be a witch. The room only quiets down when Delora and Parfait come to punctuate the conversation with their own demands for everyone to give Walt space. The march and boarders are all taken into the reception room, where Walt stands at attention, waiting to answer questions. He explains that he was looking into a rumor about Sir Mithras from only a few days ago when he found out about the witches' uprising. It was a surprise attack orchestrated by Mithras, who let the witches in through a secret entrance to the palace. Alcaster was killed during the uprising. Many knights were injured and are currently being tended to in clinics and hospitals around the town. After his explanation, I feel even worse than I did in the main room. I stare at Waltz at a loss. What of Fritz? Fritz? Sir Alcaster's son. Fitzgerald? He was my personal knight. If Sir Alcaster was killed during the uprising, where did that put Fritz? Was he working with Sir Alcaster or with Sir Mithras? Did he escape? I'm sorry, Princess. I haven't heard anything about a knight named Fitzgerald. Was he killed? The thought makes my heart plummet. No, Fritz could not possibly be dead. I have to believe that he's still alive. I feel Chevalier's hand on my shoulder briefly before it slides off. Are any of the King's Knights remaining in the palace? If there are, then they've either been forced to turn against the king or they've been killed. Is Mithras sitting on the throne? No. He usurped the king, but he hasn't taken his throne. Waltz turns to me and his expression softens. Princess, feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'm sorry I didn't answer all your questions earlier. I have so many questions, but I suppose I'll ask them one at a time. I'm guessing that we're gonna ask all of them anyways, but do you guys want to ask the questions is my question. So I'll put a poll up. What question first? And I'll put this poll up for 5 minutes. So what has, what is, do you know, and who has. So those are the questions. I'm gonna start the poll. Vote away which questions we ask first. I'm slightly concerned about my PC right now, but we'll continue on and see what happens. I'm sure we're fine, but if we're not, then I guess stream will probably crash at some point later. I hope everybody's had a wonderful day so far. I hope you guys have had a pretty chill day. It's gonna be a pretty chill evening, to say the least, considering it's a reading game. My pimple is acting up. Maybe next time I'll have it so that the dice decides my fate. But that wouldn't be as fun. I feel like you guys won't have as fun if the dice were to decide my fate and not you guys. I feel like it's way more fun when it's you guys deciding my fate. Definitely more fun. I was gonna be like, let's play solitaire while we wait, but I don't want to do that. Oh, I need to claim my Pokemon Go thing first. While we wait, I'm just going to claim my Prime thing from Pokemon. Hopefully I didn't copy anything, so it should be okay. The loading time, it takes forever. 5 minutes is a long time. Maybe I should have put it at like 2 minutes. Would that have been a better option? Is it like laggy for you guys, or is it just me? It literally is just laggy for no reason other than to be laggy. What an experience this is. Okay. Everything's just going so well today. First I wake up late, now my PC is a little laggy. It's not even like just started right as I opened the game and started setting up. It's been a little bit laggy since I started today, I think. No, I'm trying to remember. No, it literally was when I started setting up, because it wasn't this bad when I was playing Valorant earlier. Who knows? I certainly don't. Alright, boys, let's see what question you've picked. You not pick a question, pick a question! If you guys don't pick a question, I will actually get the dice. I will get the wheel of fate, and I'll let the wheel choose my fate for me. Every time I do a poll and no one answers, I'm gonna make a wheel. We'll make a wheel of fate, baby. And the wheel's gonna be so simple. It's just gonna have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the wheel. I hope this is just a temporary thing. I don't like it. It's not good for my health. I'm worried that there's something wrong on my PC right now. I think I will just... Yeah, let's double save. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset... Wait. Hold that thought. No, yeah, I will... I will be right back. Let me just restart my PC. I will accept your headpads momentarily. Yami, I'm just gonna restart my PC and I'll be right back, yeah? Yeah, okay. Maybe give me 5 minutes. Give me another 5 minutes. I'll have the wheel ready too, so I'll be back. Okay, I am back. Let me just... Okay, there we go. Hi, I'm back. Yami, thank you so much for the headpads earlier. Thank you. Let me just get this wheel up and running. Because you guys didn't want to pick, the wheel now has to pick. Hey, hi, hello. Let me just open all my tabs because otherwise I just can't function. I just wanted to get this up and running as quickly as I could. Team, no one gives a shit. I certainly don't give a shit. Go away. Okay. The wheel is ready. I just need to get other things up and running and going so that I will be a little bit more at ease. I hope everybody's had a okay evening and that this hasn't been too much of a inconvenience, let's say. Let's get off somebody's stream just in case that does become a factor. Okay. Hey, hi, hello, everybody. I hope everybody's okay. I just got my Twitch open so I can see you guys. Yeah, sorry about that. It was just doing very concerning things. I had to make sure that everything was okay. Oh my god, speaking of, I need to do something. I don't know if I want to actually do it though. There's a little system that I could use that attaches VTube Studio to my Twitch, but I don't know if I want to use it just because it's like another program that I have to download onto my PC. So I don't know if I really am keen on doing that. Can everybody like see everything okay? Does everything sound okay right at this moment? Because I did restart everything, so I don't know if everything is still like alright, let's say. I hope everything's okay. Oh, Danger, thank you for being the second first person here. Welcome in, welcome in. We just had to restart the PC, so we've been here for 30 minutes, but unfortunately we had to restart the time because my PC was being funny. Thank you so much for your hydration. Always appreciate it, you know. This thing is heavy now because I just refilled it this morning. And when I say this morning, I meant last night. You know, oh fuck. You know, I got ready for bed at a reasonable time last night, and I decided to be big brain and sleep at 4 in the morning like a dingus, okay? I was ready for bed. My bedtime's at 1. I was ready to just sleep. And then I watched YouTube videos. I'm stupid. Okay, anyways. Let us continue. There are 4 options here. The wheel will decide because you guys didn't want to decide before I restarted the computer, so. You didn't hear it. You didn't hear the wheel. You didn't hear the wheel go. It picked number 4, but I just wanted you guys to hear the wheel roll, okay? Excuse me. Who has who has claimed the crown? As of right now, no one. The king's been kicked off the throne, and Mythos has made a public announcement about usurping the throne. But he does not call himself king. Is he trying to win the throne over for someone? Myth has no one left. He was obsessed. He was obsessed with our teacher, but she's gone. Maybe he has a different alliance. Maybe he has different alliances now. Parfait's eyes looked distant as she stared dismally down at the ground. I did roll it again, so I could technically choose the second one. You know what? For these ones, I will make it so that the wheel chooses which one goes first, because we're gonna go through all of them anyways. But for ones with 2 choices, where the choice actually matters, you guys can choose for me. What has happened to the king and the others? I'm not sure. From what I've heard, the king and his family, your family, are still alive. I never cared for any of my step-family, but hearing that they're okay is still a relief. Mithras may be keeping them prisoner for now. May the wheel decide. What is the glamour that Sir Mithras used? Dolores stepped in to answer the question. A glamour is a high-level magic used to conceal one's identity. It keeps even other witches from sensing you. Parfait cast the same magic on you shortly after you came to the tavern. It was to protect you from the evil witches. A glamour can only be conjured by the powerful witches. It sounds as if this witch has been using glamour to hide himself from others. Do you know Mithras? It was a long time ago. We both shared the same teacher. Teacher? Wait. Waltz, are you a witch? Yes. He smiled at me, but is weak, and does not reach his eyes. Myth was always very competitive. I thought that he had died at the end of the Great War, but he has been at the palace the whole time. His disguise is so simple. I should have realized his name was so similar, but you couldn't have helped it. That's what the glamour does to you. Maybe if I wasn't cursed, if I had more of my magic, I would have been able to sense him. If my curse were broken, I would charge in right now and destroy him. Waltz's expression becomes so dark, it sends a shiver through me. It isn't like Waltz to look so angry. We need to come up with a plan. Even if you weren't cursed, you would still not be able to defeat Mithras when he has other witches with him. Witches are trickier to handle. Can't you just be plunged through with a sword, eh? I agree with Karma. If all of us go in with swords and shields, we should be able to take the palace back. This is what we've been practicing for. Practicing? Even witches will die if you stick a sword through their heart, won't they? But getting to a witch who knows... But getting to a witch who knows you're there is difficult. I must do something. I must let chat decide. Guys, it is time. Please pick something, please. I'm begging you. Okay, here we go. Please, I ask very politely, pick something. I know that you beautiful lurkers are in chat right now. Please pick something. I only ask once, twice even. Do we say we want to help, or do we say that... Do we ask if we can help? Do we take the initiative or not? To initiate or to not initiate? That is the question. Be nice to me, guys, please. Your choice is... You guys have 1 minute left to pick your choice. Do I help or do I just go to the wheel if no one wants to pick? I swear to God, Father isn't just so stubborn. We tell him to go to a doctor to get his cough dealt with. He doesn't go to the doctor. He waits 1,000 fucking years to go to the doctor. He goes to our GP. He goes to a private physician. Still nothing for the cough. He can't even say, hey, can you at least give me something to ease the cough? He's just coughing every single day. This is actually painful to listen to. Did anybody pick anything? Am I gonna have to consult the wheel? Apparently I do have to consult the wheel. Okay, Wheel of Fate. Hang on, wait. No! Shut up. I fucking love ads. Could you, like, go away? Okay. Spin speed. Let's go. It picked. Is there anything I can do to help? I'm not sure if I'm capable of helping. I cannot use a sword, and I cannot use magic, witch or not. In this position, Princess, you're not safe. If Myth got a hold of you too... I feel Chevalier's fingers on my wrist. They tense as he looks at me somberly. Princess, it's not safe. Even the king himself was overtaken. But I can help so long as we have the element of surprise. Whether or not you want to help, Princess, you really can't. You won't be able to use magic until your 18th birthday. That's when you become of the bearer. I cannot let that stop me. I will find a way. The conversation in the room continued for a long while. At some point, it is said that volunteers are needed at the hospital and the clinics for the injured soldiers. Chevalier immediately volunteers. Only afterwards does he look at me with regret. Princess, I'm sorry. For what? For putting my job before you, after all I just said. He told me he was going to try his best to change. Bria called him selfish for putting his work before her, but you would be a fool not to. My life is not in any danger, and there are people who need you more than I do. Do what you do best, Chevalier. Princess, I promise you, I will do whatever I can to help you as well. As the meeting disbands, I am left standing there in quiet. The last to leave is Waltz, who promises me that he will make things right. Am I going to trust everyone? But I am also not going to stand idle. I will make things right, somehow. As is my responsibility as crowned princess. Chapter 9: The Witch Puppet. Another long night. Thank you for that, passenger. The two of us are on our way back to the margin after visiting the clinic in town. We were there for hours, and it is a relief to be out in the open now, where I can feel the wind on my skin. Are you okay, Princess? I know that what you saw must have been difficult. I'm sorry I couldn't shield you from the majority of it. I volunteered to help, Chevalier. at the clinic part-time, but it is worse than I had expected. Many of the soldiers have been severely wounded. Many of the soldiers have severe wounds, is what the line says. I did read it wrong, so I do apologize for that. I had thought that most of the injuries sustained by the knights during the upheaval were only minor, but I was wrong. Their injuries are much worse. Princess? He reaches out and laces his fingers through mine, then gives me a soft smile as he squeezes my hand. Are you okay? I'm fine. It has only been one day since the uprising at the palace. I had thought that there would be less blood. I was wrong. Is this what things were like after the Great War? I wasn't a fully certified doctor after the Great War, but I was an assistant. It was far worse than this, Princess. We cannot have a repeat of the Great War. I do not know why Mithras would kill Sir Alcaster and take the throne without claiming the crown, but the witches already have a bad name and he is making it worse. I cannot help but remember the wide smile Mithras gave me when I was still living in the palace. Every time I felt his eyes on me, I felt there was something strange about him. There was always this cloudiness to his eyes, something unreadable. He was excellent at his job, but always an enigma outside of it. A sudden breeze chills my skin. Let's go back before you freeze out here. The two of us begin our walk back to the margin. Thoughts of the palace, the king, and my stepfamily cloud my mind. Since I have been staying at the margin, I had not seen Rod. I have not seen Rod once. I was never sure if it was because he was ignoring me or if it was because he only wanted to speak to Parfait. Regardless, I hope Rod and his family are okay. I would never wish this treatment upon anyone, not even ones I hated. As we walk, I glance up at Chevalier, whose head is tilted skyward. I catch a glimmer of lights in his eyes and smile. Even for just a moment, I can forget about everything when I am beside him. He has a way of taking the weight off my shoulders. But as the crown princess, I cannot let others carry my burden for me. I must find ways to protect the others, even if it means putting myself in danger or harming someone in order to protect someone else. What do you think is the easiest and fastest way to kill someone? Chevalier's body goes rigid beside me. He stops to stare at me, wide-eyed. I'm asking just in case I am ever in danger. I have never fought anyone before. I can retaliate, but I do not know how to actually harm anyone. To kill someone is to end a life. It is stealing away a life that others might love. You bear the burden of that death for the rest of your life. I pull myself away from him. But Mithras is not an innocent man. Would you rather he killed the royal family instead? No, that's not that, princess. I know he must be stopped at any cost. It's just... I would never want you to have to kill someone. How would you know what it was like to kill someone? You have only ever helped people, not hurt them. You saw the soldiers at the clinic today. You saw how close some of them were to death. Did you see the hollow look in their eyes? I have seen that look many times. It is the look of a man who clings desperately to life. Every life is precious. And a life is still a life, whether it is vile or not. It is still the responsibility you have to bear. I know how valuable and fragile lives can be. Try that again. I know how valuable and fragile lives are because I have to help so many people. We stand there quiet for a few moments, facing each other. I know. I wait for the yawn. It doesn't come, and then as soon as I start the sentence, it comes. What utter bullshit! I know I am at odds. I know I am at an odds with Chevalier. He speaks the truth. But I also know that I speak my own version of the truth too. The world is a place where only the strong survive. People are kind, but they will take advantage of those who are too caring. Bria told me that Chevalier was so selfless he became selfish. She told me that he had never had anything because he gave everything to others. His kindness has hurt others, and I fear that it has a likely chance to hurt him as well. What if his reluctance to hurt anyone causes him to be the one that is injured? Chevalier suddenly breaks the silence. Most people think that the easiest way to kill a person is to stab them through the heart. those people would be wrong. He puts his hand over his heart and stares dismally down at the ground. He removes his hand briefly, but only to reach for mine. He takes my hand and settles it on his chest slightly to the left. I can hear the beating of his heart beneath my palm. It is soft and gentle. What can you feel besides the beating of my heart? The ribs? Yes. In order to stab the heart, you'd have to go through the ribs. This is why most of the soldiers there who got stabbed in the chest are still alive. If you want to quickly kill someone, you have to stab somewhere where it would be difficult to stem the blood from the wound. Do you have any idea where that might be? Do you guys have any idea where that might be? I have an idea. However, sometimes chat needs to decide. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. You guys decide. I'll be right back. If there is no choice when I come back, I will see this as an act of betrayal. No. Did anyone pick yet? Why is there not been a choice, motherfuckers? You know, the stream title at this point might as well be The Wheel of Fate, because no one is actually picking anything. Lurkers, can't you take the time out of your day, just 2 seconds, to open the poll and pick an option? Please! I beg of you. The most chaos here is one created by me. Did I do those head pats yet? I don't know. I'm gonna do them anyway. I need them because you guys are so mean. Ah, God, here we go. Ooh. I don't know why, but his face is so odd. Maybe it's because his chin is really pointed. The abdomen? Okay. There are many organs in the abdomen, right? And there are no ribs blocking the way. I could guess, but his eyebrows furrow. A person can still survive that kind of wound. You're actually likely to die faster if they stab you through the liver or some other major vein or artery. Still, what you're suggesting would allow people to live for a long while without treatment. Most would probably die from either infection or blood loss. The place you'd actually want to stab or slice is a part of the neck. Chevalier moves my hand to the side of his neck. My fingers curl slightly when I feel his heartbeat reverberating beneath my fingers. This part is where you can find the jugular vein and carotid artery. He runs his fingers down the length of it, and I shudder. A mischievous smile brightens his face. Not only does cutting at the neck stop blood from going to the head, but it also makes it spurt. If both the vein and artery are cut, it'll only take a minute to bleed to death. Thus, one of the best ways to kill a person would be through the neck. Why are you telling me all this now? Hmm? I was just enlightening my a new pupil with an anatomy lesson. You asked me a question and I responded as a teacher. Chevalier's fingers loosened in my hand, and I grasped his hand tighter in response. Princess, I don't want you to have to bear the burden of a murder. I promise that I'll protect you, so you don't have to defend yourself with violence. I can't use a sword or magic, and I don't know how to fight, but I will always be there to protect you. I may not have an abundance of muscles beneath these sleeves, but I am a doctor. No one knows the body better than I. So though it may not be heroic, I know how to hurt a person. I see someone's playing hentai novel on stream. Boy, this is not a hentai novel. If it was a hentai novel, it would not be a category on Twitch. I would not be allowed to read this on Twitch. And as many times as I have, Blaze, bitch. Okay. His sincere expression, though pained, tells me that he is telling the truth. I do not want Chevalier to hurt a person either. If you want to read erotic novels with me, go to my Only Thieves place. That's the easiest place I can tell you to go to. It would destroy everything that he has worked towards as a doctor. He has seen so much suffering, and yet always seems untouched by it. I will do anything I can to protect his positivity. Depends on how kinky the person is. Boy oh boy, would you love the story I'm reading on Only Thieves right now. It's a BDSM story. I just picked a random one out of the lot from the website that Alcatraz gave me, and that was like the one that came up, so yeah. The Martian was quiet when we returned. Everyone had already disappeared into their rooms, and so I went straight to mine. I also forced Chevalier to go back to his. He has been on his feet all day, and he needs the rest. Full body art is a category on Twitch that somehow isn't speed banned, so it is what it is. What is full... What the fuck? No, I'm gonna look it up. Do you mean like people with full body art, or do you mean like a game called Full Body Art? Oh, okay. In all fairness, if it's like full body art, if it's actually art like they painted themselves and such, it's not a sexual theme, right? Because if I read the Twitch guidelines, if I would read the community guidelines regarding sexual themes, sexual explicit content. Let me read it, okay? Wait, hang on. Okay, in technicality, they should be banned for what they are doing. Someone getting banned for having a bra and someone being fully naked is... Okay, let me explain what it is, alright? So, users are prohibited from broadcasting or uploading content that contains depictions of real nudity, which includes realistically doctored nudity. Incomplete censoring using such as pixelizations, mosaics, or blurry effect do not constitute an exemption to this policy. So that means even if it's censored, it doesn't count. For example, you may not show or promote exposed anuses or fully unclothed and exposed buttocks, any amount of exposed genitalia, female presenting individuals' breasts with nipples exposed unless actively breastfeeding. So, in technicality, based on the community guidelines, they should be banned. They should be banned. I want to read the sexually explicit content here. It says to maintain the health of our community, users are prohibited from broadcasting, uploading, soliciting, offering, and linking to pornographic or sexually explicit content, and from offering and soliciting any sexual content in exchange for money, services, or items of value. I'm only modeling on OnlyThieves, by the way. I want to make that clear. I'm only modeling, so it doesn't count. For example, you may not show or promote explicit, stimulated, or implied oral, anal, and vaginal sex, including prolonged audio that implies sex, masturbation, orgasm, such as clear moaning and grunting. I am actually only modeling on my OnlyThieves, believe it or not. I literally only wear lingerie and model it for you guys. That's it. I model my lingerie on OnlyThieves. It's not really sexual content if it's just modeling for a photo. Depends on how a person takes it, you know? Explicit, stimulated, or implied self or mutual masturbation, including groping and cherishing genitalia. Wouldn't know if we're doing that if we're VTubers, to be fair. But some people are very obvious. Display of sexual bodily fluids, phone sex, chat sex, and otherwise engaging with other people, persons, or chats to create sexual content. Wait, I could get banned. Advertisement or solicitation of sexual services, including prostitution, escort services, sexual messages, and filmed sexual activity. Interesting. Let me take all my clothes off. Okay, Blaze. I'm still wearing clothes. Lingerie are still clothes. Did you know that I'm not fully naked when I'm wearing lingerie? That is not naked, okay? Still sexual though? That doesn't mean I am fully naked with my hand on my private parts. That's I'm still just modeling an outfit. Whether a person takes that sexually or not is up to them. I'm gonna take a random example, okay? Let's say Kim K's like stupid champagne bottle thing. That's still modeling. People will take that in the sexual sense because of the way she posed and because of like everything, right? Would you say that any form of lingerie modeling would be considered sexual even though they're literally taking the photo for the website or something like that? Would you I don't even just model my lingerie, I even did my swimsuit. Would you say that is innately sexual as well? They're modeling the outfit. Again, whether it's sexual or not depends on how the person takes it. If they want to jerk off to the photo, that's not up to me. That's not the full intent of the photo. Well, that's not the intent of the photo at all. My intent is just to model my photos because my clothes just don't get worn. Well, then that's a you thing, then isn't it, Blaze? If you take something that is not sexual and make it sexual just because of what they're wearing, that seems to be like a you thing. Because these models are doing their jobs. They're taking the photos to do their jobs. They're not making it sexual in any way. Whether they pose in a certain way, it's not necessarily sexual. If someone requested NSFW art, like voice work or artwork, yes, those are innately sexual, but I'm doing a job. I'm not making it sexual because it has, like, I'm not making the relationship between me and the client sexual by sending them the audio work or the artwork. It is the work that I'm producing that is sexual to them. How they take that work is sexual, yes. However, I don't make that work with the thought of, yeah, I have to be sexual. No, I'm doing a job. It's different for certain lines of work. But in my case, the thought is not immediate sexual. It is, I'm doing a job and I want to make this sound good. I want to make this look good. So whether that translates to the other person depends, but modeling a photo, modeling clothing is not innately sexual. It just depends on how a person takes it. Hello, Seb. I'm gonna drop this topic and just continue with the game after I go take a piss, because I need one right now. What's going on? What's going on is that I was just explaining that my modeling, quote unquote, I guess, of my lingerie and my swimwear on my Only Thieves is not sexual. But Blaze is saying that it is. So I'm just trying to explain that it's not. But we're moving on because this game is not going to play itself. I'm just gonna drink some water. Thank you for the headbuds. Thank you! That is exactly what I'm saying. It's how the person takes it. It's not innately horny. It's just how the person perceives it. Why is my keyboard crooked? Anyways, moving on. I plopped down onto my bed as soon as we return home. I glanced briefly to the side where Chevalier's bouquet is in the vase Parfait had given to me. Who is it? Put my mouse out of the way. Parfait, come in. You've returned. Parfait looks paler than normal. I realized with a start that Chevalier did not tend to her at all today. Don't look at me like that. I'm fine. How were the soldiers at the clinic? Not good. Many of them have been gravely wounded. Some said they remembered magic. Others say they don't remember anything at all. A shadow falls over Parfait's expression as she sighs. So the circumstances are dire than we thought. It's a good thing Chevalier is there to lend a helping hand. Did you all manage to come up with a plan? It's proving more difficult than we anticipated. Delora and I are willing to put ourselves in danger. Waltz is too, because he can use magic to a certain extent. The knights and Karma have their blades, but Chevalier, I don't want to involve him in this. Because you're worried about him. Of course I am. You've grown, Princess. You remind me of a younger Hildir. Back then, Hildir was both calm and resilient. One moment she could be smiling ear to ear. The next, she could be strict and unmovable as the coldest ice. What is this game then? It is called Cinderella Phenomenon. It is an otome game where your choice really does matter, because the choices you make, whether or not you get a good ending or not, will depend on what will determine if you can unlock the next character. Pretty cool, right? The two of us were like sisters. We did so much together. We learned together, explored the kingdom together. I can say with all certainty that we were the best of friends. And then the fairy tales happened. When Hildir killed the first human, she was corrupted. Her darkness swallowed her whole. I do not remember a time before Mother was corrupted, so I cannot imagine the woman Parfait is describing. I know the old Hildir would have wanted to show you the beauty in things, Princess. She would not have wanted you to suffer. I'm sorry you become so embroiled in things. It was inevitable. If Delora hadn't cursed me, then I would still be in the palace and I would be just as helpless as everyone else. So while I am out here, I have the responsibility to help everyone. I touched the incomplete glass slipper at my neck. I still haven't even done 3 good deeds. Don't look so sad. You will complete your 3 good deeds and things will go back to normal. And of course, you'll still have friends here when you return. And come your 18th birthday, Delora and I can teach you about magic. Waltz is eager to help too. I never asked, but how old are you? I am at 23. I am 24 in like 6 days. Holy shit, I'm 24 in less than a week. I'm 24 in less than a week, guys. Yeah, so I am of age, so there's no need to worry. No need to worry about that. I may look young, but I am pretty fucking old. I'll make sure to maybe remember that. It's okay if you don't remember. My birthday's not that important anyway. But for now, our top priority is a plan. Rest easy, Princess. Things will work out. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Birthday... It's a birthday, always fun? I mean, what's the fun if it's always the same? I mean, we go out for dinner, we have cake, I barely get presents. I'll get 1 of 2 if I'm lucky. I might not get 1 at all, to be fair. Because no one knows what I like, because they don't bother to ask. So... it's usually quite mundane. And going out for dinner is kind of a thing that we already do sometime. So... oh my god, you just reminded me that I printed out my payout. I still haven't taken that from the printer. Ah! Might get a present from you? Oh, thank you. Well, I do appreciate that. Presents aren't really that important to me, so... you don't have to get me one. I don't mind if I don't get anything. I'm kind of used to it at this point. So, yeah, it's okay if you don't. It really is, so... You went drinking with your whole family, then clubbing for the first time? I mean... clubbing's okay. It's not really my scene. No, I never asked my family for presents. Only thing I wanted was a watch. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Because I buy my own shit now? That's fair enough, yeah. It's hard to believe that this problem could be so easily solved, but I will try to believe. When Parfait leaves, I am left to my own thoughts. I hope everyone at the palace is okay and that they can hold on until we come up with our plan. But I feel like we are already running out of time. Oh! It's actually, I have to eat. I have to eat. I have to go consume food. When my brother came, I didn't think he actually he meant like come to eat. I thought he meant have I eaten. Okay, I guess I'll be right back. I'll be back in like maybe 10 minutes. We're having burgers, so it should be 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes tops.
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and it away. I ain't f***ing okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of that rain. My team really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. Slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a god mess. Hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts. Like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of that rain. My team really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home?
When the lights go down, I've seen hell in you, but you don't care, no, you don't care, no. You just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. Oh, go in. Fall into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, I'm going in. You can't fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. But now you wanna see me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it up, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. Oh, go in. Fall into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, I'm going in.
I couldn't lie to you kids, it's a fucking jungle out there. Keep your head on tight, unknown brain to mind me, baby, let's do it. Y'all see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, get too strong when I battle with the beast, bring a few on, the commander and the chief for my crew on, bullets rattling and whistle at your toque, never sleep, eyes open, hands clutching on my loop, it's a war zone. It's a war zone. Yo, this a motherfucking war zone. It's a war zone. Yeah, feel the impact. Yeah, break it open, leaving nothing fucking intact. Hey yo, you been hacked. You're safe, hard in, but I found it, homie, been cracked. Hey yo, we been back. Your band stacking, see you flexing with the thin stack. Hey bitch, you been whacked. I kill 'em all, feel the motherfucking impact. Yo, this a war zone, homie, say you ready and prepared. Take a minute, make them aware. Well, I be sneaking in the back, but it's what the clap, homie, life ain't fair. Caught me crawling through the mud with a vision, saw it clearly. Born a shepherd to these sheep, make them fear me. This a war zone, trenched out, trap house, nothing ever given. Yeah, every day's a blessing, thank the Lord, oh how I'm living. See me riding with my top down, oh cops round, pedal pressing on the gas. I don't think I'll ever stop. It's a war zone, homies.
came back. Ah. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. How convenient that the music stops right at that moment. Hey, guys. Hi, idiot. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. That took 20 minutes. It was just a bourgogne. And I grabbed some ice cream too, because why not? And then my stomach decided to go in a direction I wasn't expecting it to go, so I needed to go take a toilet break, you know. I can't sit properly right now because my ass is hurting, but it's alright. It'll probably pass by momentarily. Anyways, hi idiot, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. We will continue with Cinderella's phenomenon. Okay. Days go by, and I find myself assisting Chevalier at times. Other times, I remain in the margin to help conceptualize a plan. None of our plans have actually shown any promise yet. But with all of our minds together, we should be able to come up with something. A week later, I find myself standing outside the clinic door, waiting for Chevalier. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Princess. You can drop the title, you know. Phantom. But you're a princess in my eyes. Yes, but you don't need to address me by a title. Just my name is fine. Chevalier reaches out to take my hand, then immediately pulls his hand back, eyes wide. I forgot it. Forgot what? The medicine I needed for Parfait. Give me a moment, Phantom. Chevalier plants a quick kiss on my forehead before running inside. I stare at the stars as I wait. I turn, but see no one walking around the plaza. I inch closer toward the door of the clinic to take another look around. Boo! I suddenly see the silhouette of a man. He takes a few more steps towards me and then stops in front of me. I recognize him immediately. His appearance left quite an impression on me last time. Out at night by yourself? Certainly, you know that wolves prowl these streets at night. What do you want? I take a step back and press myself to the door. I reach for the door handle, but the man reaches out a hand to grab my wrist, holding it to the door. Oh, phlegm. I'd say my answer to that question is complicated, Princess. By the expression on your face, I must have hit a nail right on the head, eh? You're the princess. How do you know who I am? That part is of the mystery, isn't it? I attempted to wrestle my wrists out of his fingers. Come with me quietly and you won't get hurt. Hurt? Me? Impossible. I'm gonna call this one Stranger Danger. Okay, you guys have 2 minutes. Pick your poison. Is that Joker from Persona 5? Oh my, if it only was. I would happily go with Joker. Okay, Stranger Danger. What do you guys think? Do we go with the stranger? Do we scream for help? We are right next to the clinic. He doesn't make it very tempting. He doesn't make the offer very tempting, does he? Thank you for the head pats. He just says, come with me. You only need to come with me quietly. You won't get hurt. That is not sus at all. Don't worry, we'll go with you. Not really, I'm gonna see. Thanks for the hydrate. Woo! I almost dropped my bottle. Okay. What will you guys choose? Will you guys choose the danger? Or will you guys choose to scream for help? I don't know why my brother decided to buy expensive water. I get that the bottle is nice, but why? I don't know. I will never understand. What will you guys choose if you saw this man out in the streets? Would you like go with him, even if he knew your name? Like you didn't know him, but he knew your name. Would you go? Would you do it? Like, excluding the choice here, would you actually like go with him? That's the real question, isn't it? Alright, it's almost time. Let's see what you guys picked. What the? Okay. Okay, you little fucks. Okay, I'm gonna get the wheel out now. Okay, I guess because you guys decided to make it even, we have to let the wheel of fate choose. The Wheel of Fate really likes number 2. We're going quietly. I stare at him resolutely, but my heart is sinking, and any hope I am holding on to is quickly sinking with it. There's nothing I can do in this situation. He could easily muffle my words and maybe even gag me. If I am not careful, he might even kill me, and I cannot die here. Nothing? I thought you would at least try to... I thought you'd at least try resisting a little. But if you're not going to act first, then I will. The man opens a small vial right in front of my face. Something sweet wafts in the air, and I suddenly feel myself falling into darkness as I collapse. But this is my room. We haven't seen it in several episodes, but this is my room. Where am I? I glance around me. My room? I look around cautiously, checking to see if anything in my room is different. The last time I was here was before I was cursed. How is it that this room is the same? Sleeping Beauty has awoken. I move to stand up before realizing that my legs are numb. Shamed to see you so easily tamed, princess. And here I thought you would be fun. I glance up to look at the man who is standing right at my bedside. How do you know who I am? Are you a witch? A witch? Me? Ha! He bursts into laughter. I would rip the witches to shreds if I could. If he could, then you're cursed? The man smirked. The man simply smirked at me, but says nothing in response. He brushes the word aside with a gesture of his hands. Are you working for Mithras? Probably. I glared at his vague answer. My name is Varg, and I have been assigned to you to be your personal knight. I already have a personal knight. Oh, you mean Fritz? I got rid of him. You! Not playing with the queen's daughter. Ah, hang on. It's a new character. Not playing with the queen's daughter, Varg. I said not playing. I say no playing. Oh god, I gave you a very regal voice despite you being a young man. I do apologize. Mithros enters the room. Now he is standing in the doorway, eyeing the both of us with a smile that is so oddly reminiscent of his usual one that it makes me sick. Mithros. Princess, you look more and more like your mother every day. Why the scowl on your face is almost a perfect reflection. He moves to stand in front of me. At the same time, Varg begins to take slow and careful steps to the edge of my room. What have you done with everyone? Inconsequential or consequential? What? Mithros clicks his tongue impatiently. Inconsequential or consequential people? I narrow my eyes at him. I have no idea who he defines as inconsequential or consequential. Where are the king and the rest of the family? Where is Fritz? Were you the one who killed Sir Alcaster? Ah, inconsequential and consequential then. To start, your knight is gone, princess. I've replaced him with Varg here. And Alcaster... well, we had a common cause at first. We both wanted the crown. Sir Alcaster was also betraying the king? But Alcaster was a brute. He wanted to needlessly kill the royal family and steal the crown for himself. At first I had thought he was calm and calculated. But it turns out that he was just a power-hungry fool. Though I did want to take the crown, I wanted to avoid bloodshed of certain important people. Oh, Phoebe! It's been so long since you've come to my streams. You've been hanging out with Ozzy. I thought you'd forgotten about me. Thank you so much for the hydrate, love. Mithras smiles at me. It is a look that makes my blood run cold. So I disposed of him and the rest of his knights. Oh, but don't worry, princess. I assure you that your family is resting in their rooms, just like you are resting in yours. Hi Phoebe. I didn't see the emote. I don't know if it dropped on my head or not, but I can see it jiggling. What? Don't worry, you will see them shortly for dinner. I have my doubts about Mithros' story. But if what he said is true, then Sir Alcaster wanted to kill the royal family and Mithros saved them. But then he decimated the knights and took the royal family hostage? Why would he do such a thing? They are prisoners then. Prisoners in their own home? Nonsense. We're all just awaiting the Queen's return together. The Queen? Slowly, I feel pieces begin to fit together. The Queen. He cannot be talking about Ophelia. Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? Mother is dead. Is she really? You can bring Mother back from the dead? We can, princess. We? The Queen has been resting for a long time, waiting for you to gain your powers so that you can help her escape her prison. You're not making any sense. I struggled to keep my words from faltering. How is Mother alive, and what does he mean by a prison? The Tenebrarum is the Queen's prison. It is linked to the Queen's power. Though others presumed she was dead, the Queen sealed the last of her power inside the crystal. All she requires is your power, princess. My power? When you become the next bearer, you will have the ability to release the queen from her prison. My birthday is in a week. That is when I meant to take the responsibilities of becoming a bearer, though Parfait and Delora never went into more detail beyond that. You'll finally get to see your mother again, Princess. I still cannot quite take in everything he's just said. However, if Mithras had approached me before the curse, I would have helped Mother in a heartbeat. But it was Mother who was the last Tenebrarum bearer, and the one who brought darkness in Angeli. I once believed that Mother was the only person to ever love me. Now I know that I was wrong, that she shut me in from the world, and that I should have known. But still, even now, I wish she was here. I take a deep breath. But I cannot afford to be selfish. I cannot put anyone else in danger. I cannot help you. I will not help you is the line that I meant to say, but we'll pretend I said that. Oh, hey, Seb, welcome back. You don't have a choice, Princess. I have set the stage for my queen's return. All that's left is to free her from her cage. We will speak more of this at the dining table. Mithras leaves the room, leaving me briefly with Varg. Varg smiles from beneath his mask, then brings his index finger to the temple of his head and loops it a little. He mouths the word, crazy. You said you would tear witches apart, so why do you serve Mithras? A good question. You're not going to answer me. How perceptive of you, Princess. He smirks at me before following Mithras out the door. I am once again left by myself in the room. Everything Mithras just told me swirls through my mind. My mother, alive, and he killed everyone only to take the crown and keep it for her? A shudder runs through my body. She cannot return. I spend the next hour looking around my room for things that might aid in my escape. I know where everyone else's rooms are too, but I have no idea how heavily guarded they are, and I doubt I could help them. I must return to the Marchen. I test the window, but it is locked, probably with magic. I search my shelves. The dolls that used to comfort me can do nothing for me now. Last, I check my drawers. But though there are many things in them, there is nothing that looks like it could help me escape. As I am searching, I come across a box and pause to pick it up. I remember this. It was given to me by Mother with strict instructions not to open it and always keep the key hidden. I searched the drawers again for the key. The moment I begin to set the box down, I see a small golden key at the bottom of the drawer. I pick it up and am about to open the box when I stop. This is hardly a priority right now. I set the key down right next to the box. I should be searching for a way to escape. I turn to see Varg's smiling face at the door. You look like a criminal who's just been caught doing something naughty, says the criminal himself. Maybe we're meant for each other. I narrow my eyes as he approaches. Behind his back, I can make out the open door. Don't even think about it. You don't want me to pounce on you in the hallways, do you? That would be unpleasant. Varg grabs my wrist. I attempt to struggle free, but he holds tight. He holds tight to me. I will be your escort to dinner tonight. I keep my head held high as Varg escorts me from the room. On the way to the dining hall, I glimpse the rest of the palace. It is mostly empty, save for a few soldiers. soldiers, sorry. The soldiers that do stand there have a glazed look in their eyes and look right through me. Puppets. A spell cast by Mithros. Varg does not answer me, but he pulls me through the hallway. Soon I find myself in the dining hall. The guards usually standing by the walls are gone. Now there are only the royal family, and they seem to be unharmed. You? I can see recognition in the king's eyes. My heart flutters as he stands, or tries to. He manages to rise, but only just barely. I notice that his feet stay firmly planted where they are. Everyone's bodies look exceptionally stiff. Is this some kind of spell? You are the girl that was outside my palace months ago. Mithros, what is the meaning of this? I notice that the king is not at the head of the table as usual. Everyone sits on the table's sides, except Mithros, who is at the far end. The king's seat, however, is clear. I simply brought back the crowned princess. You should be thanking me, Gennaro. I have reunited you with your daughter. My daughter? The king raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. I can see in his eyes that he is loath to trust anything Mithros has to say. The king slumps in his chair as Varg leads me to the seat just beside Rod. I notice Emmeline? Yeah, M. I'm gonna call her M. If I remember, I decided to call her M. I notice M sitting just to Rod's side. She forces a smile onto her face, but I can see tears gathering in her eyes. Allow me to offer a more formal introduction for our guest, even though you all know her. Her name is Phantom Rayla Breton, and she is the crown princess of Angel. And your blood daughter, Gennaro. The king looks at me again. This time, there is more uncertainty in his gaze. Prince Rod will tell you, won't he? Rod? Rod looks at me, his gaze quiet but expectant. Thank you for the headpats. I turn to the king and to the rest of my stepfamily. And this is where you all have a choice, boys. I clicked the wrong thing. I do apologize. So many headpads? Yeah, today's just a headpad day. Today's just a headpad day. It's poll time. It is poll time! Alright, boys and girls, it is poll time. I had a burger, Seb. I just saw your DM. I had a burger. I had a burger and ice cream. I said it earlier, but I guess because you only just got back, you didn't hear me say it. Yeah, I had a nice burger. It was a burger with what is it? Bacon wrapped around the burger and eggs. And a bit of lettuce, ketchup, and not ketchup, sorry, tomatoes, and cucumber. It's good burger. I like a good burger. That feels good. Yes, it is. In fact, there is a lot of headpads today, actually. I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna go count them while we wait. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 headpads today. How beautiful. A good headpad. I'm gonna get a bald spot. I'm gonna get a bald spot from all these headpads. Yep, yes. First one. But the poll isn't over. The poll isn't over. Should I wait? Okay. Should I make the poll 1 minute instead? Give you guys even less time to decide. You have to pick, babies. Should I do it for less time? 2 minutes is still quite long. I'll do 1 minute next time. If you guys don't answer, I'm immediately going to the wheel. I'm not waiting for shit, bro. Nice to meet you. Okay. It is nice to meet you. There's no point trying to convince the king that of my birthright here and now. Ew, let me try that again. There's no point in trying to convince the king of my birthright here and now. I would only confuse him more. And now's not the time or place. I glance at Mithros, who is smiling at me expectantly. Besides, Mithros must have a reason for insisting on my birthright now. Insisting on my birthright right now. Most likely, he just means to confuse the king more. If that's the case, I will not play into such a petty scheme. My name is Phantom. Thank you for the kindness that one time. Rod looks shocked. I scowled at him before turning to look at Mithros. Mithros' smile was twisted into a frown. I feel proud in seeing him caught off guard. Phantom, what are you doing here? Gennaro. She is undoubtedly your daughter. That is why she is in the room that you have been taking care of. What? The king's eyes widen. He looks at a loss for words. Princess, the king has been keeping your room clean and tidy for the sake of nostalgia, and he has no idea why. Magic works in interesting ways, doesn't it? I was wondering why my room was unchanged, but could it be that the king remembers me somehow? I look up at him, but he has already glanced away from me. His expression, a complicated twist of confusion and helplessness. It seems that even the king does not fully understand. I turn to Mithros. It can work in both good and bad ways. Ah yes, the fairy tale curse is terrible, isn't it? I catch Varg's eye from the side of the room. He glances away from me, and I follow his gaze to the corners of the room. I hadn't noticed them before, but now I see cloaked figures hidden in the shadows. Witches. They must be the ones holding everyone in place if they try to escape. But not all magic is terrible, like the magic we will use to revive the queen. You are insane! Hildir is mad! You have no right to refer to her by name! A sudden chill envelops the room. I can feel the actual icicles on the table. I pull my hand away. Now, we are going to eat dinner. And we are going to enjoy it. And every day will be just like this until the queen returns. Rod glares across the table to Mithros. Why? Why would we not enjoy dinners together? That's not what I meant. Why go through this charade day after day? I stare across the table at Mithros, glaring. I already told you before. I had to clear this place of traitors. Alcaster planned on stealing the crown, and I stole it back. But because the time of the Queen's revival is so close, I've decided to keep the crown with me until I can return it to its appropriate owner. Queen Hildir is the true owner of the crown. I thought it'd be best that we all wait for her arrival together. But know this, when my queen demands it, I will kill all of you. I simply refuse to act without her orders. This time, guards come into the room with food. They set it before us, and we were forced to eat beneath Mithros' watchful gaze. Though I try to spot an opening in the dining hall, I can find no way out. This really is a prison. 2 days passed. I've been searching for ways out and trying to ease more answers out of Varg and Mithros. Neither of them is very forthcoming. Both enjoy speaking in riddles. Varg especially is an enigma. Whenever I try to speak to him about Fritz, he smirks at me and remains silent. What? Not going to try asking me any questions tonight? I'm not going to get any answers from Varg, so it's almost my birthday. I need to find a way out of here. I'm disappointed. You're the only fun I have in here, princess. Maybe if I'm quiet, he'll leave me alone. If you're just going to be quiet and sulk, I guess I should be going. Remember, don't try anything funny. There are knights just outside your door. Varg bows mockingly. He leans down to pat my head before he turns to leave. I cannot give up. I once again begin my search through the room. Time is running out, and there's nothing that I can do besides search for a way out. But I know that if I leave the room, the knights will catch me immediately. If I had a weapon, I might stand a chance. Hey, Conver. I put my fingers to my neck and remember what Chevalier told me about it. Sleep. The sound comes from outside the door. It's a woman's voice. The door opens suddenly. Chevalier and Delora are both in my room. Princess! I'm startled to see Chevalier standing before me, his eyebrows drawn over his eyes with great worry, and beside him stands Delora with her arms crossed. Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? We are here to stage a daring rescue. Hold on. I rush to Chevalier and wrap my arms around him. He puts a hand on the small of my back and smiles down at me. We're going to get you out of here, princess. How did you both get in here? With the power of magic. Dramatic, even at a time like this. The two exchange a look before looking at me seriously. Parfait, Waltz, the knights, and Karma are all here. We thought we'd just be fighting witches. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, hold on. I broke it. Sorry about that, boys. We thought we'd just be fighting witches, though. We weren't expecting the knights. No matter what we say, we couldn't get through to them. They're under a spell. Mithros. He wants to release my mother. Both of them looked at me with confusion. What? My mother is still alive, just inside the Tenebrium. Mithros wants to bring her back. This is impossible. The queen is still alive? Chevalier looks worried while Delora's expression is more rigid and resolute. We cannot let that happen. I don't know how the queen would be alive in the first place, but... well, we'll worry about that later. Right. We have time later to discuss the specifics of everything. But right now, we need to get out of here. Right. Everyone is keeping guards and witches busy for you, princess. I'll distract Mithros. Chevalier, I'm counting on you to get the princess to safety. That is why I'm here. Princess, can you guide me through the palace? I cannot just leave everyone here. Don't worry. Garland is seeing to saving your family. No, I can't just leave everyone in the march in here to do things for me. Phantom, we can't afford to lose you. I told you I would do anything to protect you, and I will. The sooner you're safe, the sooner we'll have an advantage. You're the legitimate heir to the throne and the next Tenebrarum bearer. You cannot let yourself remain in Mithros' hands. The situation is indeed most dire, so for now we must hurry. I nod my head feebly. Without another word, the three of us head towards the door. Delora exits first and stops immediately. I almost run into her. I glance through the doorway and see Varg waiting just outside, holding a blade across Delora's neck. Delora holds up her hand and deflects the sword as it slides harmlessly past her neck. Varg slides away, still holding his sword. His usual smirk is half-hearted at best. Get out of the way. Get out of our way. You're awfully demanding, aren't you? Pretty please? No can do, my lady. Shame. Looks like I'll destroy that pretty little mask of yours, along with everything else underneath. Delora holds up her hand and summons a wall of electric orbs. With a flick of her wrist, she sends them rushing towards Varg, who dodges them with surprising speed. Varg's movements appear sluggish, but I've seen his fast reflexes. He's playing with Delora, even though I do not think he has the advantage. Thanks, Danger. I do appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for the headpats. Yeah. He drops the sword for a few moments. I feel Delora has the advantage. Then suddenly he raises the cane he usually holds at his side and taps it on the ground. A burst of smoke escapes from the bottom of it, surrounding the room. An enchanted cane? You're not the only one with tricks up your sleeve. Delora! Chevalier, get her out of here! Let's go, princess. Chevalier takes my hand in his and begins to lead me away. I turn to glance back at Delora and Varg and realize that while Delora is completely on the offensive, Varg does nothing but dodge. It's as if he's trying to buy time for something. I banish the thought from my head as Chevalier pulls me down the hall. How rude! Haven't you heard of chivalry? I spot Karma, still in his dress, holding a sword out at the man in front of him. When the man lunges, Karma dodges back and grunts as his back comes to the wall. I suppose chivalry... I can say the word once, but not again, apparently. I suppose chivalry is dead then. Excuse me. Excuse me. He steps off to the side as the possessed knight attacks him with his blade. The sword catches his dress, but does not hinder him from stepping forward, aiming a jab of his sword beneath the knight's armor. The knight kneels, but the sword does not fall from his hand. Karma looks up at us sharply. What are you doing just standing there? Move! It takes me a moment to realize that just as I was frozen, so too was Chevalier. He was as pale as he grabbed... His face is pale as he grabs my hand again and once again starts rushing me down to the other end of the hall. Let's just flip. Chevalier's steps are wider than mine, so I struggle to keep up. But the further we go down the hallway, the more apparent it becomes that there are too many obstacles in the way. We pass Jurian and Garland as we move too, and they manage to clear a path for us. These knights will not stop moving until Mithros is defeated. I hope the king and everyone else is safe. As we pass Jurian and Garland, I tell them where the royal family is, but I have no way of knowing if the words reach their ears amidst all the sound. It definitely wouldn't have reached mine. If you were ever here witnessing me playing Valorant, I would have not heard you at all. I have my volume up at 70. It would be like ignoring someone. Chevalier. So the stab wounds in the armor that I saw earlier were from the knights themselves. But why would they battle each other? What? The punctures in the armor that we saw at the clinic, the stab wounds in the gut and at the arms. Chevalier's eyes are so distant, it's as if he was looking right through me. They were... We need to keep moving. I take his hands and lead him forward. I don't know what he is talking about, but we can talk about this later. Right now we have to escape. We are closer to the palace entrance when we see them. A group of knights standing 2 lines on both sides of the hall, facing each other. At the far end of the hallway stands a gaggle of witches, and in between them, Mithros. Good evening. Did you enjoy your stroll around the palace? Chevalier immediately moves to stand in front of me. The cloudiness is gone from his eyes, but what leaves his mouth is not a demand, but a question. How could you do this? How? It was quite easy, actually. You know what I mean. Why would you make the knights fight one another? What a foolish question. Obviously, it's because they are inconsequential. On a stage, some pawns exist as easily replaceable as extras. I am interested in keeping only the actors. In the grand scheme of things, the extras aren't needed. In fact, I can make them do whatever I need in order to get the best outcome. He snaps his finger and the knights. He snaps his fingers and the knights raise their swords. I tense, thinking that the knights are going to turn on us, but they never do. Here is an interlude for you to enjoy. The knights are attacking each other? The sound of metal ringing against metal flies in the air. The knights' swords arch, dive, and stab. Mithras watches from behind them, the sly smile never leaving his lips. The 2 of us can only stand there, stunned in silence. It isn't long before we can see red. The smell of blood begins to linger in the air as sword cuts through flesh. Abruptly, I snap to my senses. I attempt to move forward, but Chevalier remains firmly on the ground. Chevalier! I've heard many things about the doctor working at the clinics. I've heard that he was a volunteer who had assisted in helping the injured during the Great War. I also heard that, until just recently, he had been cursed. I knew immediately upon seeing you that you were that volunteer. I suppose it is unavoidable that you and the princess know each other, but to think that you would be so close. Chevalier just stares blankly ahead. He looks almost like he was under a spell. His eyes are glazed. I continue to call his name. His eyes follow the sword's movements of the sword movements of the knights, and he does not even spare me a glance. Have I unraveled the doctor? Chapter 10. Unraveled. Chevalier, snap out of it! Ah, just look at all of these men you cannot save, All of these men dying before your eyes. Chevalier, we have to get away from here. How many people have you really saved in the grand scheme of things? Oh, it is the end of a sentence. I cannot read punctuation. How many people have you really saved? In the grand scheme of things, you have no talent. That is why you sought help from a witch. Mithros' voice is oddly calm, and I can feel some sort of presence in the air that is different from normal. A knight plunges a sword through another's guts, causing him to lose his sword. The sword skitters across the floor, gleaming underneath the moonlight. I look desperately at Chevalier and realize that the magic is already working its way into him. He does not see anyone except for Mithros, who is still smiling at him from behind all the knights. I slowly inch backwards, making a show of looking at Chevalier. Neither Mithros nor Chevalier seem to see me. I will protect you, Chevalier. I will do whatever it takes, even if I have to kill someone. I pluck the sword from the ground and grasp it at its hilt. It feels heavy in my hand, but I ignore the weight. I rush down the hallway with the sword, weaving my way to the side so that I'm out of the way of the knights fighting each other. I look squarely at Mithros, and then suddenly, Chevalier's eyes flickered on me, only momentarily, but enough for me to know that he is no longer looking at Mithros in the daze. Ah! Ilunia, thank you so much for the for the head rate. I turned back to see Chevalier rubbing his hands across his eyes. Mithros snaps his fingers, and two of the fighting knights turn to rush towards me. The knights managed to back me into a corner. I pressed the button without reading it properly. The knights managed to back me into a corner of the wall. I hold the blade out as they bear down on me and close my eyes. My hands shake on the hilt, but I stand resolute, ready for the blow. But it does not come. Moments before the knights raise their swords, I'm aware of the breath on my cheek and the beautiful violet eyes staring into my own. You have a lot of recommendations there, Illumnia. Why don't you just put them in the suggestions thing? Why don't you just put them in the suggestions with the... You go to the welcome, you go to suggestions, you can put it there. Yeah, I even gave you guys categories. I gave you all categories. I made it so simple for you all. If you want to make game suggestions, go put it there. Easy peasy. Don't worry about it, I'll get to it. Nah, you're fine. I'll just remind you every now and then. Oh! But the word ends in a gasp as a blade is buried deep into Chevalier's chest. His words fade as his hands slide down on either side of me. He slumps and his head falls to my shoulders. No! A raw sound escapes my throat, and I feel the warmth leave Chevalier's body. Chevalier! I scream his name, and he looks up, but his eyes do not see me. They are somewhere far away. Mithros pulls Chevalier's body down to the ground, where it falls with a terrible thud. Inconsequential. I am deaf to Mithros' words. I slumped down beside Chevalier, my hands reaching for his. His eyes are still open, but the light in them is gone. No. Tears stream down my face. I cannot breathe. I cannot hear my heart. Everything is quiet and dark. Chevalier! Now that the obstacle is gone, you have nothing left, princess. Mithros' hand reached for mine. I attempt to lift the sword, but he knocks it easily out of my hands. Are you truly the queen's daughter? The queen never cried. She was the strongest woman I knew. I cannot breathe, and cannot stifle the sobs escaping my throat. She taught me that sentimentality was nothing to value, that it would only make you weak. I assume you knew that too, princess. But I was wrong. It will be a good thing when the queen is back on the throne. The weak do not win. He snaps his fingers, and the witches congregate around me. Now, we shall use you to bait the fairy, and then everyone else will fall. I will unravel this effort at its heart. He nudges Chevalier's body. I look down at Chevalier's ashen face and sob. I let the tears gather in my eyes until I cannot see anything. Nothing matters anymore. We got the bad ending. We got the bad ending number 1, boys. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. How could you have done this? Okay. Now we're gonna go through most of that again. But we're gonna try and get Rumple's good ending. We're gonna okay. We will do a route at a time, right? And then we'll so we'll skip to chapter 2. Would you like to refresh yourself on the basics of rend division? Nope, I don't need it. Skip this shit. Skip it. Skip it. We're gonna all of this is gonna be the same. So we're gonna skip to chapter 2 because I'm a dumbass and I didn't save. Okay, thank you. We're gonna fast forward. Yes. Yes. We're trying to skip to chapter 2 because that's when it really starts. I don't know what I picked. I'll skip. Yes. And skip. I don't know. I don't remember how long. Oh, wait, is this it? I don't know if this is it. Wait, where are we? Are we in chapter 2? Is this still the prologue? How long is the prologue? I don't remember. You know what? This one I'll let you guys choose, because I feel like that might affect it. We need to skip to chapter 2, but I don't know how to do it. Okay. Okay. There. You guys pick, go, choose, pick away. Pick away. I don't know how long it is before we hit chapter 2. We're skipping all of this because we already know. I should have saved! Thanks for the headpads. Wait, don't pick, wait, let me cancel it. Oh well, I'll remember it. Okay, we have to go back. Okay, we have to go back a little bit. So we have to go back a little bit. So chapter 2 starts after we hit the margin, apparently. So I skipped a little bit. No. Go away. Go away. So we have to skip the first one, and then we skip towards the second one-ish. Come on. I know you're thinking about it. Okay. We'll start here. Pray. Thanks for the stretch. Thanks for the hydrate. I'll remember the choice, don't worry. Hey! This way! You're... No time to talk, princess. How do you know who I am? There's another one! Stop running, you two! Come on! The boy grabs my wrist and pulls me after him. He takes off with a sudden burst of speed, and then I'm running even faster than I just was. I'm not entirely convinced to follow... Excuse me. I'm not entirely convinced following him is a good idea, but at least the boy seems to have a better sense of direction than me. We run. Our running causes rocks on the pathway to come loose, and before I noticed them in the path, I stepped hard on one. The sharp pain shoots through my foot, and I collapse on the ground. It hurts! Princess! I try to stand, but the pain in my feet is unbearable. I fall back down into the dirt with a gasp. Actually, pause for a second. Let me just recap all of you that haven't been here to the first part of the prologue. Basically, our character, the MC, is having this wonderful raised experience as a princess, right? Wonderful, quote unquote. Her mother is teaching her things. We get these storybook little segments where her mom is like, she's remembering things that her mom taught her. Her mom is deceased, sort of. And what happened is she gets cursed by her doll Delora, who turns out to be a fairy or a witch. I can't remember which one at this moment. I'm sure Delora will tell us later on. And we get cursed with the Cinderella curse. So now we're poor. Instead of rich in a family of royals, we are poor. So our father is the king, as you heard from Mithros. The king is our father by blood. And we have a stepfamily. Rod is part of that stepfamily, and he has a sister. So we have a stepsister, and obviously their mom. I haven't met their mom actually. Now that I think about it. Anyways, that's all you need to know. We got cursed. We're on the streets. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. And now this. I can't. We got you now. Just hand over your coins, and neither of you will get hurt. I won't let you touch her. Ha! Says the little boy. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. What is this ghastly sight before me? Two adults threatening a child and a lady? How very ungentlemanly. What are the likes of you doing around here in this neighborhood? You asking to get fletched? Asking? Perhaps I'm in the mood for a scuffle. The nobleman brandishes his sword, his expression confident, maybe even cocky. Show me what you've got, sirs. And please, don't bore me. Who are these people? I ain't dealing with this for the money. He's got a sword. What? Come back here, you coward. The two of us can take him. I think your friend has the right idea. I'm not the type to show mercy. This is way too much trouble for a little gold. Oh, right. This is just after we see the king in the afternoon. What happens is we see the king. The king thinks we're just this poor girl instead of his daughter. So he gives us some money. Oh, thanks for the hydrate. You're late. Sorry, kid. You know how hard it is for me to be invisible around here. Thanks for the stretch as well. Wait, what did you just call me? At ease, small one. These two know each other? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I feel ill. My head is pounding and my feet suddenly simulates simultaneously like they're and my feet feel simultaneously like they're on fire. They're frozen and on fire. My stomach rumbles, the hunger coming back with vengeance. My body feels light. Hey, princess! Princess! Calm down. Parfait will be able to help her. But for now, we need to move before anyone else sees us. Yeah. Don't worry. You're safe now. Everything is fading. A dream? What's in your hands, Ying? It's hurt. I just wanted to help it, but it died. It's all my fault. It's not your fault, my love. It died because it was weak. But this is the world, Ying. Only the strong survive. The weak get cast aside to die. You are not weak. You are strong, my crown princess. And you do not cry. Now wipe your tears. I don't want to see you cry again. Do you understand? Yes. Now get rid of that thing and wash your hands. Did you not hear me, child? Yes, mother. Oh, you're awake. Where am I? Well, this isn't my room. My hands fly to my chest. Where's the little glass slipper that hangs from my neck? Still here. Are you okay, miss? This girl. Is she the maid that tore Dolores' dress? The one I fired for her clumsiness? Miss? To think that I would meet her again here like this. Leave me alone. Right, of course. Here's some salve I made for you. It'll help with the pain. Now what? Haven't thought at all, have you, Ice Princess? You! Suddenly, there she is. Delora stands before me with a snide smile, looking happy at herself. She is the cause of everything. She is the cause of everything I've been through. All the pain, heartache, and hunger. This is Delora. This is the person that cursed us to be this way. And by the way, I thought I'd let you guys know, if you weren't already aware. It's her fault. I tried to stand, thinking to give the witch a piece of my mind, but as soon as my foot touched the floor, pain shoots up my legs. I end up falling back on the bed. Ow! You should be more grateful to the girl you just scared away. She's been taking care of you for the past 2 days. 2 days? I've been passed out for 2 days? I am suddenly vibrating with anger. Remove the curse! Now! Ha! Do you think you can just command me to remove the curse in your best princess voice? What do you want? Gold? What I want is worth more than all the gold you could summon in Angel, princess. Besides, you haven't read your fairy tales. Haven't you read your fairy tales? The caster cannot take a curse back. You need to focus on breaking the curse yourself if you want your life back. Mother burnt the books before I could read more than 1 or 2 of them. I do not think either involved curses, just genies and trading away your voice for legs. Ah, it's good that you're awake, princess. Parfait! Should you really be up and about? Don't fuss, I'm feeling much better. Are you a witch as well? Oh no, my name is Parfait. I am a fairy. A witch and a fairy in one room being friendly to one another? Impossible. Oh, look at her face. You weren't expecting that at all, were you, princess? What's going on? I'm sure you have many questions, princess. How do you know I am the princess? Don't be silly. She's a fairy. Of course she knows. And on that, we will save and end for the day. We're still on chapter 1, actually. So, we're still in the safe zone for now. Until we hit chapter 2, we don't actually start. When we hit chapter 2, I'll save. And then I won't save on that save. Okay. I'm gonna save again just in case. Okay. Awesome. Don't worry, Alumnia. You don't have to say that the message is there. I'll be sure that I will read it after stream. Usually that's how it goes. I end up reading it after stream anyways. So after Rumpel sing, when we get back on Rumpel's route, whenever that might be, I will use a walkthrough. So we've already had your guys' choices in Fate, and on Rumpel's path we will use the walkthrough and figure out where it is we're actually supposed to go. So until then, and on that note, thank you Little Thieves so much for coming to today's stream. I hope you all enjoyed today's show. I do apologize for having to restart my PC, but it was doing some very worrying jittering, and I couldn't afford for it to crash midway through stream, so I restarted it personally. Okay, so while we are just chatting here for a little bit, if you're not already in the Discord server, do join the Discord server. You can give me suggestions. I sometimes hang out in there. Yeah, yeah, you will end up with most of my updates if you are on my Discord server. And do follow me on all my socials. On the Discord, it has a list on info saying what website I have and what it is for. So if you want to go on my Discord server to look at the websites instead of my link tree, then that's fine, of course. And everything is listed there as per what it is that I post there. So if you want to know what I post there, you can go on there and figure it out. I am doing a lot more reading now, so I'm reading erotic books on Only Thieves, and I'm also reading lots of poems on TikTok now. I say lots, I literally just read one so far. But next week, if there aren't any clips throughout this week, I will post another poem. I've been drawing a lot as well these past few days, so expect a lot more art content. Yeah, but I think that's it. Yeah, hopefully I'll wake up early tomorrow. I kind of have to because father is leaving for taking my brother to court, I think, and also going to work. Don't worry, my brother's not in trouble. He's just a jury. I'm thinking. I have to wake up early to like give somebody a car, my brother's car for MOT, for service, I think. I have to make sure he parks in the correct place. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you all once again so much for coming. Hopefully we won't have issues tomorrow while we play Genshin. I don't know if the updates will be out tomorrow, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you, my little thieves, in the next one. Bye!